change. Well, closer to 9:14. Broadcasting today from the United States of America. I can prove it because we are blowing up our enemies. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he. The United States of America, founded with a certain knowledge and understanding by our incredible, irreplaceable, amazing founding fathers. That government is not, shall not be, cannot be our parent, our guide, our salvation, our direction. Not any of these things, but is nothing more than a necessary evil we require to organize and protect society. The United States of America, the country where, for the first time in human history, freedom was declared to be an unalienable right. That means they can't take it away. Granted to each individual by God. It couldn't be parceled out to groups. Freedom couldn't be controlled by government or government officials. Why? Because our great American Constitution ensures and codifies freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of association, economic freedom, and freedom of the press, no matter how they use it, because we're free to ignore them. Now, armed with these freedoms, and only because they had them, a ragtag bunch of immigrants, rejects, and their progeny created the richest, most powerful, most culturally diverse and accepting nation ever to grace our planet Earth. America, the only place specifically invented and designed so that every American can live their life in the manner they choose, unlimited by their background, upbringing, race, color, or creed, unhindered by the government or those who would use government to control others for their own comfort, benefit, or power. This Bob Cordaro Show, well, it'll always be convincingly conservative, lovingly logical, proudly and passionately patriotic, and reliably right. And so, with that essential preamble dispensed with, we can tell you that our commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all of you for the balance of the morning as we gavel to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense. And a quick mention, our friend John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality, they are honoring 3 veterans today. Gerald Pambianco, Plains Township, Richard Rossi, Sugarloaf, and Joseph Palicar, Dixon City. We will not forget about our veterans, our brave veterans. So, Trump's coming to town Tuesday. I've heard a few rumors about where it would be, and some of them were head scratchers, but that's good. And I'll tell you what, I say this, you guys, if you're familiar with the Patton Open that we do at the beginning of the program every day, it says the right place at the right time, okay, that I've been transported to, meaning me. And then, of course, at WILK. But it underscores, like, this is an effort, because, I mean, look at people aren't paying attention. Some are willfully stupid. And to after 10 months, and see that, remember what the tariff argument was about? Democrats have been for tariffs forever. The tariff argument was to try to blame Trump and his policies for lingering Joe Biden inflation. And they did that, and successfully so, because people are starting to blame Trump and the Republicans. It's astonishing for the inflation that Biden and Democrat policies caused. It's insane. But it's true. And the old story was, they were telling Joe Biden, don't go running around telling us that the economy's good. Because what is the economy? It's not today's paycheck. It's not, did I pay the bills today? There's some relief in that. It's what will I be doing a month, 2 months, 3 months from now? that uncertainty that the Biden policies, the Democrat Party policies caused, along with actual inflation, actual job insecurity, actual food insecurity for some people, skyrocketing rents. By the way, I said this all during that sickening disgrace, his presidency. You don't put 20 million people, new people, into a country and not expect housing costs, food costs, and everything else to go up, but housing costs in particular. They have to live somewhere. And give you a small example. Hotel Roosevelt, New York City. If they're filling dozens of hotels up with illegals, paying full freight, guess what? People visiting New York City are not staying there. And as those people leave those facilities, they have to rent somewhere. They have to live somewhere. And so rents go up. So it's all of this stuff that is going on, and you look at it and you say, you know, the Green New Deal. You saw your gas prices, your utility price, everything skyrocketed because of the idiocy of the Democrat Party. And so, and their strategy, the affordability con job, is to lie to you and pretend they had nothing to do with it. And that, oh no, Trump's not cleaning up a mess. He's caused the problem. And hope that people will be either too stupid, and remember that they count on stupidity and ignorance to survive. Just like they count on, oh, okay, socialism really works. They count on people being stupid enough and short-sighted enough to say, oh, good, I get something for free. Not that it has failed in myself, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, everything will be horrendous. So they count on short-sightedness and stupidity. And they're trying to tell you that Trump and his policies are the cause of the affordability crisis, which is mostly in people's minds, by the way. But if it's in their minds, it's a reality for them, period. And so if the media is lying to them, like there was a poll, and 58% actually said that gas prices went up. Could not be further from the truth. Couldn't be further from the truth. Gas prices going up. 58% said so. When they are, in fact, going down. And so you just say, you know what? I can't fight their perception. I'm going to go with it. So Trump's going to go on the road. Where does he start? And I want you to feel important. I want you to know that this is ground zero for everything. And I've said it before, not just Pennsylvania, for everywhere. This is ground zero. Where does he start his affordability caravan? Northeast Pennsylvania. Please remember that. And I mean, somebody said, well, of course you're going and you're going to. No, let me say this. If the proper invitation was extended, I would be honored to go. But I've been doing this, particularly when I was in office, going to presidential events and everything else for decades. And I would love to meet Trump, say hello, shake his hand. And by the way, if you haven't done that kind of thing, it's worth the experience. But it's not something that I'm trying to do. And that's just me. And I'm answering for me. If you haven't done it, or if you've done it and really, really enjoyed it, like the Trump rallies, do it. Do it. It's it's America. It's everything. It's democracy. I've just reached a point in my time here on this little orb that I don't want to be inconvenienced. I just don't. Now, part of the problem on the affordability crisis, Trump oversold it. You see that lying scumbag Hakeem Jeffries, he's saying, the Republicans promised to drop prices on day one. And prices have gone up. Well, they haven't. So, he'll put a lie with the truth. Yeah, Trump promised to drop prices on day one. Well, I would ask President Trump, how the hell are you going to do that? You're not even in office. And he did say it, and he said it over and over and over again. So people thought he could do it. And people who want to be lied to, they'll think, yeah, well, he lied to us. Prices are going up. Well, they're not. But in any event, he's got to go on the road and explain it because he oversold what he could do. Now, the important thing to remember on this affordability con job, this is important. And anyone who wants to listen, who actually wants to reason, you tell them this. Republicans acknowledge that prices are high because of the Biden Green New Deal spending policies. Democrats pretend it never happened. They did while it was happening. They ignored it. Oh, it's transitory. It's this, it's that. It's not our fault. Democrats, their plan, and by the way, they don't have one, but their idea is to give taxpayers their own money to make things more affordable. That's what they'll do. They're going to give you your money to make things more affordable, which will, in the end, make things less affordable. Republicans, and it's going to take more than 10 months, but not much more, Republicans will reduce energy prices, regulations, help increase production of all kinds of products, offer opportunities for people to make more money, and also let them keep more of what they do earn with tax cuts. So either you want the government to print money to pretend they're making things more affordable by giving it to you, or you want actual conditions to improve. Your call. Hey, Kamala Harris got 50% of the vote. So people ain't that bright. Just remember that. We'll take a break and be back. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day, is brought to you by John Basiliga. Just one of his great companies, because we're at the weekend. I can't even believe it. Basiliga Hospitality. I can't wait to get to at least two of these places this weekend. Three great bar restaurants. The Old Brook Inn, Springbrook Township, Route 307. Far Street Tavern on Far Street in the great Trips Park section of West Scranton. The Queen City Tavern, downtown Oliphant. Gorgeous, comfortable, great service, fun, and great food. Joseph Palicar. We lost him at age 82, November 11th. He was from Dixon City. He died unexpectedly at home. Born in Peckville, he was a member of St. Carlo Acutis Parish at St. Patrick's Church, Oliphant. He was a graduate of Dixon City High School. He served all of us, and I'll bet most of you never knew it, in the U.S. Army from 1962 to 1965 during the start of the Vietnam War. He was employed before retirement as a welder and pipe fitter at Chamberlain Manufacturing in Scranton. He enjoyed hunting and fishing with his constant companion, his dog Buddy. He was survived by his children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and other family members. Preceded in death by sisters, a brother, and other family members as well. Joseph Palicar, our great veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker. Today, sunshine this morning with increasing clouds in the afternoon, high 28. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 25. Saturday, partly sunny. It'll get back to closer to normal, 35. Sunday, partly sunny, high 35. 16 degrees outside the studio as I speak. I'm sorry, we got to let this play. We got to figure out how it ends. You still have a criminal running loose, Lorne. How great is that? I'm sorry. I can't. Those story songs of the 50s and 60s, I can't get enough of them. I haven't heard this one forever. December 5, 1964, Murph goes into the archives. Actor Lorne Greene, and you'll know him from Bonanza. And then he was in some, I don't know, some one of these. He was the captain of some ship in a Star Trek knockoff. But Lorne Greene had not only the number one hit, but also the number one easy listening hit with Ringo. This date, 1964. That you can't. I mean, you can't. How fantastic! Hey, next Thursday, the 11th, noon, right here. We're gonna have Matt Birkbeck. He's the author of The Quiet Dawn, The Life We Chose, The Wicked, the upcoming The Bookie. He's written about area subjects, now spreading out into novels. Unbelievable. He'll be here in our event space, 305 Route 315, Pittston Township. Book signing, discussion, all of that, which I'll be hosting. Now, the way to get in on it, you go to WILKnewsradio.com. So instead of pressing watch to look at my smiling moon face, you go to contests and events. And then once you get to contests and events, you go to events. And scrolling down, you'll see the book signing at WILK Studios, hosted by Bob Cordaro. And you go to the bottom of that, you enter your email address, submit, and you've got a reservation. I'm going to work on something where you could call in, too, because I know a lot of us are not. Battlestar Galactica, Lorne Greene was in. Thank you. A lot of us are not as literate with the computer as we would like to be. So we'll come up with an alternative as well. But there's only room for so many people. So we would love for you to come. I'd love to hang around with you in person. I love hanging around with you every day. But in person would be even nicer. So looking forward to all of that next Thursday at noon here at the studios. Now, one of the trolls says, Bob, coffee is up, lumber is up, Christmas lights strand $44. Everything is higher with tariffs. That's a lie. That's a lie. And by the way, you're a troll. You're a liar. I don't know why you're a liar. I don't know why you're compelled to be a liar. But he lies to me every day, so it's what it is. Mark Mayer asking, was that Ben Cartwright? Yes, it was. Lorne Greene. Ben Cartwright. There's a funny discussion. One of the best movies, one of the funniest movies of all time is called Tin Men. Danny DeVito, Richard Dreyfuss, and a lot of other really good characters. It's about aluminum siding salesmen in the 60s. And they have this discussion at the diner where they would start their day about Lorne Greene and the cast. Every son, they all look different. They're all the same age. They're all 50. How could he be the father of all these kids? But yeah, that was Lorne Greene for Ringo. But yeah, It is a lie. Now, just because it's the Democrat, in fact, the fact that it's the Democrat strategy to say that tariffs are driving prices proves it's a lie, just by itself. But the Federal Reserve, every economic study that has ever been done, tariffs do not cause inflation. Period. It's what is. And Trump's tariffs haven't been in effect long enough. I'll ask this. I'll ask you, Troll. How long do you think it takes from ordering Christmas lights? Because, by the way, if it's not tariffed, if it's made in this country, then you're lying completely. But let's say the Christmas lights are made in China. The tariffs were imposed roughly March. Additional tariffs. And then they were on, they off, all that strategic negotiations. How long from when Kmart, well, I'm dating myself, Walmart has ordered the Christmas lights to when that order gets to China, to they get the materials to make the Christmas lights, then they manufacture the Christmas lights, and then they're shipped over here? How long do you think that process takes? So you want to be a dummy-crat, be a dummy-crat. But you don't know what you're talking about. You're just repeating and regurgitating. It's scary. Coffee prices, also different. Depends on so many factors. We know the cost of transporting them is down. All goods, including coffee. Beef is another. You've got essentially an historic reduction in beef herds. Why? Because the Biden administration and the left-wing lunatics said, we're going to discourage beef production because cows fart. And it creates greenhouse gases. And we're all going to die in 3 years because of cows and people who like to eat beef. So please, stop the lying, stop the bullspit. But no, keep feeding it to me because you're too stupid to change your mind. In light of fact, truth, and reality, you don't live there. We do. So, and as someone says, Bob, prices don't increase dramatically in one day. They don't go down drastically in one day either. Prices have been getting progressively better since Dipspit has gotten out of office. Yep. Again, the problem, somebody texts in, the problem with what the president said was that he meant on day one he would start the process to lower prices. It was the way he said it and how stupid people are. Prices don't increase dramatically and so on. So the facts are this. Donald Trump's on and off tariffs have not caused inflation, period. Anything to the contrary is false. Number two, the hangover from Democrat policies, including the Green New Deal, which dramatically raised the cost of everything, from the massive deficit spending of the Biden administration, which devalued your dollar by printing because more were printed, is being corrected. The other part of it was the Biden economy was floating along because of government spending. The jobs creation, which had to be adjusted to the tune of 800,000 less, was all in the government sector. and all to foreign born. All the job growth during the Biden administration. So they're recovering. We are recovering from the Biden administration. And if, by the way, not to say Trump hasn't helped this along by exaggerating. But the reality is we've got a Biden Democrat policy hangover. And amazingly, the Democrats, without any problem, by the way, they don't even think about the truth. Talk about, I loved it. Chuck Schumer is worth $70 million. How? Nobody knows. Insider trading and God knows what else. Corruption. He's worth $70 million. Talk about Donald Trump not knowing what it's like to go to a grocery store. Not knowing what it's like to pay higher prices. $70 million. Yeah. Okay. Great. Unbelievable. Hey, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, we'll be back. The Rolling Stones. Murph said they moved up to number 6 this date, 1964. Now think of it. Lorne Greene and Ringo is number 1. The Rolling Stones are number 6. Same day. I find that humorous. And then, of course, the Gold Rush of 49. That's why if most of you know, that's why they're the San Francisco 49ers. Okay? Gold Rush basically helped jumpstart the creation of and development of California. So here's the thing. We know this, and it's sad. Lee tells me lumber, and I should check with my brother at Dunmore Lumber. He said it's the cheapest now that it's been in a long time. Well, let me say this. Lumber, and whatever, you could pick a specific thing. They go up and down depending upon a lot of factors. What is overall inflation, number one? And what are the things that the Democrats were screaming about, like eggs? Now, somebody says that egg prices aren't the greatest either, but they're half of what they were when Trump got into office. Admittedly, some of the problem on the egg front was not Biden's fault either, but a lot of it was. Not only for the energy costs, transportation costs, feed costs that he made explode, that the Democrats made explode. I hate to blame Biden because he's just a useless piece of spit. He was a puppet for Democrats' sick, twisted ideology. But anyway, they caused the problem with eggs, and then they killed millions, indiscriminately killed millions, or had killed millions of egg-laying chickens. Tens of millions. So their policies in response to a disease, an avian disease. Avian, rather. So their policies double whammied you on eggs. Trump allowed for importation of eggs, and all of a sudden, the people in America said, well, we better start producing, and they've overcome that. But it's half the price. It's just like gas. People are saying, 58% of the people surveyed said gas went up. Well, it obviously didn't. So what are you going to do? I mean, but you've got to remember this. No matter what you do, not with the trolls and the Dummycrats, but with normal people who are open and thinking, but aren't political and may not be paying close attention. With those people, don't tell them things are the opposite of what they're perceiving. Biden went down that road, didn't work out too well. Donald Trump, Republicans, don't go down that road. Start talking about what you're doing and repeat it over and over and over again, because you've got to get through the media filter. The left-wing media filter is not going to report the truth. They're not going to report the facts. So you've got to get through that media filter by repeating over and over and over again. Those of us who pay close attention and are open-minded to either criticize or praise the Trump administration and its policies, we're getting sick of a lot of things he's saying. But please remember who the actual audience is. It's the swing voter who is low information and doesn't want to be immersed in political discussions and policy debates. They just don't. But they determine elections. Remember that. The Dummycrats, the idiots, the people who want to listen to lies like that Kamala Harris is qualified to be president, there's nothing you can do about them. We've got to save them along with ourselves and our country. We'll save them from themselves. That's what we'll do. Oh, way over. 10:03. That's what my Bacardi Jewelers watch tells me. So we got to go. It's news time. We'll be back after that. great good morning, everyone. My Cordaro jeweler watch tells me it is 10:10 a.m. here in the great Northeast. This beautiful Friday, December 5, 2025. It's frigid, but it's beautiful because we're alive. This is the Bob Cordaro Show. I am he, and it's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and with the help of our friend John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality, to honor veterans we've lost this year but celebrate today, thanks to John, like Joseph Palacar, Dixon City, Richard Rossi, Sugarloaf, Gerald P.M. Bianco, Plains Township. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle, gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense, promising you that our commitment to common sense will provide a sanctuary of sanity for all, even the Dummycrats, for the balance of this morning. So, Economic Policy Institute said tariff increases do not cause inflation. Any responsible economist that is not tied to a political party will say the same thing. There's an acknowledgement tariffs can cause one-time increases in price levels, but that does not lead to sustained inflation. By the way, when the tariffs are removed, prices don't go down immediately either. It's what is. Let me explain why. I've done this before, but like Garrett Morris on Saturday Night Live, I'll do this now for the hard of hearing. Or if you just didn't happen to be listening, which is also quite acceptable. A tariff does not happen. See, this is the problem with Democrat economic philosophy, because it's not scientifically or logically based. Just like they say, tax cuts reduce the amount of revenue that governments take in. And it's completely false, demonstrably, provably false, going all the way back to John F. Kennedy's tax cuts. Revenue goes up. Now, why don't prices or why does not overall inflation increase when there's imposition of tariffs? Because the people selling it, the red Chinese, just for example, they're shipping all this crap into the country. Trump whacks them with tariffs. 50%, say. Well, they've got to keep their factories running. So they say they lean on the people who are doing the shipping. They lean on the people who are supplying them when they're putting together the twinkly lights. And everybody on that side takes a hit because they know if prices increase in the United States, they will sell less than they need to sell to keep the factory running. So they take the hit by and large. Now, this goes to the retailer. And Walmart says, hey, we're going to sell less Christmas lights than we ordered, and we're going to be stuck with Christmas lights and have to warehouse them for an entire year. We better eat part of this. And they do. You may increase or experience price increases for other reasons, but it doesn't happen solely because of tariffs. Because what the Democrats use in all their analyses is a static meaning nothing changes. And in their mind, if the tariff is 50%, you will pay 50% more for whatever it is that the tariff is on. That's a lie. It's false. It never happens. What normal economists do is they say, all right, how do the people in this entire supply chain, as well as consumers, react? And by the way, I'm just telling you, do you really need another string of lights? I just saying. But that aside, they ignore people's responses. Period. I'm like, I don't get it. You don't understand that people do things in response? Like, people react. That's like saying, if you touch a stove and you get burned, you're going to keep your hand on the stove. That's the level of stupidity that partisan Democrat economists are undergoing. And I just don't get it. Hey, let's go to Ken from Wilkes-Barre. How are you, Ken?
Hey, Bob. Honestly, Democrats have to use static models for everything. Otherwise, they can't just lie and say how their programs don't work.
Yep.
Like every poverty initiative. Well, we'll just do this and everything will be fine. They refuse to take human interaction into the equation because it shows they don't work.
And Ken, here's what I ask most days on the program. Why? Why do you not want the truth? Why do you not want the facts? Why do you not want to deal with issues in the realm of reality? That's the part I cannot understand.
Money and power.
I guess.
Money and power.
Yeah.
And of course, for politicians, you know this, Bob. Politicians' only job is to talk about problems, not to actually fix them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if they could talk about problems, well, then they got a career.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been talking. There have been people trying to get a Palestinian and Israeli peace treaty for 60 years. They don't want to see one done. That means they can't retire.
We could do away if Trump stayed in office for 8 years straight. We could do away with the United Nations.
I mean, it just comes down to, for government and Democrats especially, they see a problem, they throw money at it, and they stop looking.
Yeah.
They never look at what happens on the equal side of the equation.
Yep.
Like, all right, you did this. What did that program do? If you remember, Rush talked about the original Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And why it happened. Remember, the Pilgrims dabbled in socialism, and it almost starved and killed them all. Which is why they changed.
Yeah. And it said, here, we'll give you an incentive to actually produce enough food for us to eat. And voila, it worked.
Right.
Ken, can we save these people from themselves?
They don't want to be saved.
I know.
You can only save the drowning man that's willing to reach out to you.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, they're all on the same ship we're on. And they want to drive right at the iceberg. We're trying to steer it away. And instead of killing all of us, destroying all of us, we're going to save them despite themselves.
I'd like to think that, Bob, except like the last election where we had less than 25% turnout.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
I know.
Until we have consistent 80% plus voter turnout, we're not saving anybody.
Yeah.
We're just slowly emptying water as the ship sinks, hoping to make it last as long as possible.
Well, I try to be an optimist, but there's nothing you said that I can disagree with.
Well, you know what? That's the problem is I'm not an optimist. I look at what things are, not what I hope they can be.
Yep.
That's the only way to fix things.
Appreciate it, Ken. Thank you.
Yep.
He nailed every point. But I still go back to, again, money and power. That there is the answer. Why? But see, then there's the followers, the Democrats. What are they getting out of it? Except maybe a voice at the table, maybe some minor ego massaging. I don't understand. I go to the gas station during the Biden administration. The Green New Deal policies have clearly failed. Electric cars, battery-powered cars, are no better for the environment. And in fact, net's probably worse. And that's their main solution. And they cling to it. It's not understandable. It's just not understandable. We'll take a break and be back. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. You know we got to listen to the end of this. The Royal Guardsmen released their hit Snoopy versus the Red Baron, this date 1966, and we were all Snoopy fans. I was about 5. Well, how could you not be a fan of Snoopy? He was the coolest dog ever. Oh, what a great song. Murph is he's going to, and that is actually some decent music in that song. At least by my lights. I'm not an expert, but there is, By the way, Jimmy Kimmel, why didn't he just stay fired? He, excuse me. He said that ordinary fishermen were getting waxed by U.S. power. He raised, and he wasn't done lying yet. He said that the Trump administration is interrupting the pursuit of Chilean bass. Wow. How do you become so insane? I really don't know. And I mean, it's why you've got to have a hardcore skepticism of your leaders, particularly if you're on the left. You got to be saying, man, these people are so stupid and crazy. I can't even keep up with their insanity. Yeah, the fisherman, as RW texted me, he sent me a picture, and it said, yeah, look at all the fishing poles and the nets. It's insane. Well, when I get in a lather about stupid people and liars, I want to talk about something great. And that would be Valhalla Veteran Services. And we got John Wharton on the blower. John, how are you?
Okay, how you doing today, Bob?
Doing great. Tell me, what do you got? What's happening?
All right, well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for reaching out to me. I put up a post for Valhalla Veteran Services, which is the group that I'm associated with for veterans and first responders. What we do is we help with mental health counseling of veterans, active military, and first responders. And we are a nonprofit 501c3 group, which most of our money, all of our money comes from either grants or donations. And I had put up a chart that we have that we look at every month when our board meets, called a write-off report. And in that, it detailed, and it's up on our Facebook page, Valhalla Veterans Services. But it details what the write-off is for what we actually don't get from the insurance companies. So I guess we could start by talking about that. Maybe I could explain more about what a write-off report is.
Please, quickly.
All right. Well, basically, it's kind of like if when you go to the pharmacy for your prescription, like let's say you have high cholesterol, so you might be taking a atorvastatin. Well, your insurance plan, with your insurance plan, you're probably paying maybe $10, probably less, for a 30-day supply. Now, without the insurance, you would be paying between $50 and $70 for a 30-day supply, depending on what your prescription is for it, 10 milligrams, 20 milligrams, whatever. Now, the difference between that $70 and that they would want you to pay without insurance and the $10 that you would pay with insurance, that's basically written off by the pharmacy.
Okay.
So basically, we have 3 main counselors who are all licensed, and they will do either individual, group, family counseling for groups, or like I said, individuals. Most of it is individuals. And what we'll do is, we now first of all, Valhalla Veteran Services never charges a copay, because then someone might say, "Oh, well, I can't pay the $25. I'm already paying this for my copay for prescriptions that I have," or So we never charge a copay to our clients. But what we do is we do bill the insurance companies, and what the insurance companies give us back is usually very, very little. As like no insurance company will give you exactly what.
But let's cut to the chase, John, instead of the details here. If I'm a veteran and I want to know anything about benefits or opportunities, or I have got issues with medications, with anything, my mental health, whatever, how do I get to Valhalla?
Well,
Veteran
first of all,
Services?
you can call us at 1-833-467-3838, or you can go to our website, which is valhallaveterans.org. That's VALHALLA veterans VETERANS.org. Or you can even message us, send us a private message on the Facebook page. But the best way to get in touch with us is either through the phone number. That's the easiest way to get to us. And we are located in West Scranton. So we are located in Scranton. And once again, we help veterans, active military, and also the first responders, the police, firefighters, corrections officers, and EMS personnel. And we have actually counselors that have actually, just like all of our first responders and veterans and active military who have run towards danger, all of our counselors have done that too. So they basically worn the same boots that of the people that they're talking to.
All right. Well, John Wharton, Valhalla Veteran Services, you're available for veterans and first responders. Thank you very much. West Scranton. All right, my man.
Thank you, Bob. You have a great day.
You too. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. We'll be back with our Veterans Tribute, the weather, and then you at 570-883-0098 to call or to text. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day. Brought to you by John Basiliga, the friend to the veterans. Today, because it's Friday, we're featuring Basiliga Hospitality, just one of his great companies. I talked about the Old Brook Inn, the Far Street Tavern, the Queen City Tavern, the best bar restaurants in Northeast PA. Well, let's talk fine dining. A Terra 519 Linden Street, downtown Scranton. Just walk in. You just want to be there. It's gorgeous. The service is great. And it's one of the most beautiful restaurants you'll ever see. And then we go down to downtown Wilkes-Barre, and we've got the Mary Stegmeyer Mansion. Dine in old world luxury. Great bar. Amazing food. Great service. A Terra 519 and the Stegmeyer Mansion. The best fine dining in Northeast Pennsylvania and beyond. Richard Rossi. We lost him at just the age of 77, November 13th. He was from Sugarloaf. Born in Hazleton, 1966 graduate of West Hazleton High School. He played football, baseball, and was vice president of his class. He then went to Penn State Hazleton, where he studied business administration. He then served us in the U.S. Marine Corps, where he served as a rifle marksman, 1968 to 1969, during the Vietnam War. He was the owner-operator of Rossi's Restaurant and the Forest Hill Inn, both of Hazel Township. Avid golfer, member of the Sugarloaf Golf Club. He loved all sports. He was a frequent supporter of the ASPCA, Boys Town, and the Disabled American Veterans. When he wasn't making people laugh or telling stories, he was enjoying his slice of heaven on the farm. Surviving are 5 children, 5 grandchildren, and many other relatives. Our veteran this hour, Richard Rossi. Storm Tracker 16 forecast from meteorologist Joe Snedeker today. Sunshine this morning with increasing clouds in the afternoon. It'll be about 28. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 25. Saturday, partly sunny, 35. Saturday, partly sunny. Sunday, partly sunny, 35. 20 outside now, but man, I took the bulldog, well, the bull mastiff, Chauncey, out for a walk last night. We went a little longer, and it wasn't even last night. It was like just after dark, 4:30-ish, whatever. Man, it was cold. And I'm thinking, I have Frank Andrews. He just one of the best people on the planet. Anyway, our former afternoon guy. And he gave us these jackets, and I've got it. It's my warmest coat. It's a WILK News Radio coat. He gave it for Christmas a couple of years ago, and I wore that. And that was enough. But my gloves, which were super heavy from, I don't know how I acquired them, but somehow acquired them in prison. Like when guys were going home, they'd give you stuff they had, and they were contraband, but, you know. And they're normally like, man, my tips of my fingers were cold. And then you got to take them off when Chauncey goes to the bathroom because you got to clean it up. Hey, WILK welcomes authors Chris Finazzo and Matt Birkbeck. If you remember, I talked to Chris about his book, Reflections of a Town Driver, his prosecution and prison experiences, as well as those of many others that he drove after they left prison after decades. It's just an amazing, great prison book. And then Matt Birkbeck, he's an author's author. He wrote The Quiet Dawn about Russell Buffalino, The Life We Chose, about his henchman, Billy D'Elia. He wrote The Wicked, a murder mystery set in Jim Thorpe. He's got The Bookie coming out. He's got about 5 books before that. And they'll both be here at the WILK Performance Studio Thursday, December 11th at noon. And meet and greet. They'll sign their books. You can buy their books, all that kind of stuff. And, of course, I want to meet you, too. You have to RSVP. There's two ways to do it. WILKnewsradio.com. You go to contests and events, press that, then you go to events, and scrolling down, you'll see this author's event. And then you give them your email, you scroll down, you do email, and you're registered to come here Thursday. And you have to register. But there's another way to do it. The Bulldog is standing by as I answer these calls. You call our number, 570-883-0098. You give them your email and your phone number and your name, of course, and then you're registered. Done. For me, that would be easier, but that you could do during the show. The other, you could register 24 hours a day online. But if you want to call our number, 883-0098, you could register through the Bulldog. Let's go to Kevin from Duryea. Kevin, how are you?
Hello, Mr. Cordaro. I kind of off topic today. I didn't know you were talking about the veterans. Sorry to hear about Mr. Rossi. I called you the other day. I had two problems. One was with Social Security.
Yes.
So I called Senator Fetterman, Senator McCormick, Representative Bresnahan, reached out to the governor. Even you can't call the White House. You got to text it. I didn't know that. But they say Mr. Trump's coming to northeastern Pennsylvania. I don't know where. But
well, I don't think you'll have time to deal with your Social Security, Kev.
No. No. But this is what I want to tell you. Senator McCormick called me back one of his days and said, we're working on it. Because I told you I was on 60 Minutes about it and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, what I wanted to tell you, and it pertains to everybody, I said, well, I also want to know how many IOUs are in a Social Security trust fund. And he goes, oh, I could tell you that. You ready? You know how much money is between the Democrats and Republicans taking money out of Social Security and throwing in IOUs?
I'm waiting. Kevin, I'm always quiet when I listen.
Okay, I'll make it quick.
Yeah, let's not do 20 questions here.
Okay. He told me $2.2 trillion worth of IOUs.
Sounds about right.
And and then every 4 years, they're going to take away your Social Security, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to say. That's all I want to say, Mr. Gordon.
Scary stuff. Thank you, Kevin. I'm happy.
Yeah.
That needs to be addressed, or at least people need to get it. They need to hear it once in a while. $2.2 billion has been taken from Social Security revenues. Amazing. Thank you, my friend.
Again.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK. Let me finish for the moment with Mother Teresa, St. Teresa for December 5. She says, let us touch the dying, the poor, the lonely, and the unwanted according to the graces we have received. And let us not be ashamed or slow to do the humble work. She never was. St. Teresa for December 5th. Thank you, Mary Regina. We'll be back. believer. I got a bunch of texts on egg prices. Tony from Sawyersville texts in. He said, Bob, just bought large grade A eggs at Aldi's Tunkhannock, $1.96 a dozen. Another, Bob LTS, I just paid $1.99 for a dozen eggs. Great price, no problem here. Well, but see, they're looking for problems. They're making it up. It's pure insanity. And I don't understand it. Jack from Florida said, the Democrats seem to have trouble with long-range issues. They confuse weather with climate and inflation with the direct economy. These aren't people you want leading us into the future. And it's like, and remember, Mr. Paul points out, our executive producer, Trump is only imposing the tariffs so other countries will trade fairly with us. These are reciprocal tariffs. They're crushing all of our goods, placing tariffs on all of our goods, non-tariff barriers as well, and he's saying enough. Stop taking advantage of America, or I'm going to impose tariffs on you. So it's absolutely necessary that he do it. And thank you for reminding me, Mr. Paul, the reason he's doing it is the most important component of the tariff policies. Let's go to Larry from Plymouth. He's calling on the tariffs.
Yep.
Hey, Larry, there you are, buddy. You got to let your theme song kick in. And here you are. All right, now, Larry, you're not going to go over the edge on me today, are you?
No.
You're going to stay on the rails?
You know that song, The Red Baron, Bob? I still got that on 45.
Oh, I love that. It's a great song.
I remember that in 66. I just got out of high school not so long. Yeah, but, well, Manfred von Richthofen, he didn't get killed in a dogfight, Bob. He got killed from machine gun fire from the ground by the British.
Wow.
Yeah.
World War I?
But he did shoot 80 of the enemy down.
Amazing.
But anyway, Bob, you can't have too many Christmas lights.
Well, no. If you're going to complain about the price, don't have as many.
No, I'm not. But Bob,
no. That's all I'm saying. If you're looking to blame Donald Trump for the cost of Christmas lights, then guess what? Don't buy any.
No, Bob, I'm not saying. Look, they did go up, but I'm not saying it has anything to do with the tariffs because
it doesn't.
They've been going up for the past couple of years. I buy these rolls of 600 lights, and I used to pay $49. Then they were $59. Now this year they're $65.
Mm-hmm.
But I still bought a crap load already.
Well, that's not. To me, I like very, very basic decorations. We have a tree. Cutie did an amazing job. I hung this monster wreath in the front of the house. We have the center of the house is a fireplace, and it's got this good stone going. And I put that up, and I'm done. If she wants more, done. Fine.
I'll bet you your wreath isn't bigger than mine.
That's a real possibility.
My wreath is about 7 feet in diameter.
All right. It took me a moment to think what diameter is. That's pretty big. Yeah, mine's only as wide as my arm spread, so it's only about 6 feet wide. Okay,
but this is, and I decorate it with pine cones, and I put loads of lights on it, and I got bows on it and everything. But I've been putting up my here. What the heck you call my Christmas tree. I just got my Christmas tree up last night, and I'm starting to decorate it with lights.
Nice.
And and Bob, the one last thing. How come you do not play the whole Red Skelton pledge to the flag?
That's all we have.
Bob, the end of it is the best part. And at the end, he says, and since I was a boy, there were 2 states added and 2 words. what the heck it is?
Oh, Bulldog, you got to find that version.
Yeah,
Bulldog.
yeah, and it
because we
says,
try to play it once a week.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands in a nation under God, indivisible, indivisible with liberty, under God.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, wouldn't it be a shame?
And I love how he says God.
Wouldn't it be a shame if they said that was a prayer too?
Prayer to who?
Well, under God. They put that didn't used to be in the pledge. And Red Skelton, since I was a boy, they added 2 words, under God.
Okay.
And
he says it though, right? He says
if
it in
they
his...
said that was a prayer too, and they took all the prayer out of schools.
Well, Bulldog, find that version where he adds the 2 states, because I know he starts with 48 states. I didn't know he updated it. That's neat.
Yeah, he said since I was a boy, they added 2 states and 2 words, and that's really the best part of it.
The Bulldog will effer that, Larry. He will.
Yeah, it's on there. If you go in there, it's right on the end of it.
Hey, guess what, Larry?
Huh?
My Ricardo's Jewelers watch tells me it's 11. We got to go.
Okay.
All right, my man.
Thank
you. Then keep putting it up. We lost the Culkin Christmas house here in Scranton on Music Street, and maybe Larry's can be a pale imitation, but somewhat of a replacement down there in Plymouth. We'll take a break because it is news time. That's what they tell me. That's what my Ricardo Jewelers watch says. We'll be back after the news. Great good morning, everyone. My Ricardo's Jewelers watch tells me it's 11:10 a.m. here in the great Northeast. And don't forget the trunk sale next Thursday, the 11th, the same day we're having our authors event here at the studios. It is a beautiful Friday, December 5, 2025. It's frigid out there, but this is the Bob Cordaro Show, and I am he. It's a big day to fight for America, defend our values, and with the help of our friend John Basiliga and his great Basiliga hospitality, to honor the brave who have made us and kept us free. People like the veterans we salute today, thanks to John, who we lost this year, but are honored to talk about this day. Joseph Palicar, Dixon City. Richard Rossi, Sugarloaf. Gerald Pambianco, Plains Township. So with history, our great founding fathers, and the incomparable Constitution of the United States of America as our guides, let us continue today's battle. Gaveling back to order this meeting of the Club for Common Sense after a brief news adjournment. So much to talk about. It's really unbelievable. But something I wanted to get to, and I made note in my reminders on my phone, and Rich McHale brings it to my mind. He said, as the holidays approach, let's all consider giving to worthy causes. My favorites are St. Jude, Shriners Hospital, and Tunnels to Tower. And you see these commercials if you watch Fox News in particular. And I made a note to myself and said, instead of buying anything, now if you come up with the perfect gift for somebody, get it, by all means. But I was talking about this yesterday, and then I interrupted myself. But consider a donation in the gift recipient's name. I'm telling you, they'll be more honored than to get something they don't want. I really mean it. In fact, I'll have to tell Cutie. She said, what do you want for Christmas? I said, I really don't want anything. I've got anything I want and anything I can afford. Obviously, if I had more money, I would want more, or I could take care of whatever I want. But I mean, basta, as they say in Italian, enough. I mark down, very much like Rich McHale, Tunnel to Towers, Wounded Warriors, St. Jude, and Shriners Hospital. And they have these really neat monthly things that'll, I guess, go on your credit card. And like for my kids, if something doesn't strike me, I'm going to give them this. Make the contribution, put it in their name. It'll be just so much better than buying something that, oh, well, I don't know what to get so-and-so. Just do that. Make a donation to Tunnel to Towers, the Wounded Warriors, St. Jude, Shriners Hospital. So, Rich, we're on the same page. Thank you. By the way, there's so much to talk about. It's insane. Scranton City Council. Now, here's the three blind mice. Gerald Smurl, City Council. Bill King, Jessica Rothschild. They want to buy this bank. Now, the mayor received thousands of dollars in contributions from bank officials leading up to her reelection this fall. I said it yesterday. She's gotten rid of the old boys network, but she's created all new boys network. It's insane. The phoniness is so disgraceful. And she wants to reward them by buying the bank building next to City Hall. Now, that's on the tax rolls. It's paying taxes. Thank you to Fidelity Bank. By the way, thank you further to Fidelity Bank for saving the Scranton Electric building. And they're paying to light that beautiful sign up above, which I will add, humbly, Lackawanna County paid for when I was commissioner to allow them to light it. That was Chris Doherty's idea, then the mayor. And I said, yeah, I know you're out of money. We'll pay for it. That's a beautiful sign. It's a great greeting to the downtown. Anyway, Fidelity Bank's done, but by moving their headquarters, and they are a truly regional bank, to downtown Scranton, when they finish that construction, having 160, 170, whatever amount of people, that's the numbers I've heard, they're going to move downtown. They're going to do more for Northeast Pennsylvania than you could imagine. So I'm all for Fidelity Bank. But here's the mayor and the three blind mice. She wants to satisfy her donors, people affiliated with Fidelity Bank, by buying their building, which will become a white elephant for them when they open their headquarters. And I say, so what? That's their problem, not the taxpayers of Scranton. And you have not even attempted a space utilization study for Scranton City Hall. And I'll remind you of the salient facts. Scranton City Hall served 142,000 citizens at one point. And guess what? The police headquarters occupied the entire basement. They've now got their own headquarters. So the basement is underutilized at best. It's a huge building. A lot of wasted space because it's built in the 1800s. So you go, you do a space utilization study, and you make it work. You don't buy a new building when your population is less than half of what it was just 80 years ago. It's insane. And then not only do you pay millions for the building, guaranteed they'll waste money renovating it, and it's gorgeous and really well done by Fidelity Bank. You'll take it off the tax rolls, which will hurt the school district, the city itself, and the county. It's insane. Absolutely insane. You should have less employees in City Hall since you've got 70,000 residents instead of 142. And yet they want another building. What are they going to name it? The Paige Cognetti building when she runs for United States Senate? It's crazy. This is what government does. They want all kinds of tributes to themselves, and they want to take care of their donors, and that's all that's about. And the three blind mice will vote for anything she proposes. Just shame on them. Thank God two of them are leaving. And I got to tell you, it's not a personal thing. I love Billy King. He's a nice guy. And I've heard nothing but good from people I respect about Smurl. I don't know Gerald Smurl. But I've heard nothing but good about him. Yet, they've decided to be the three blind mice. And they've decided to agree with the mayor to waste money and takes this property off the tax rolls instead of actually figuring out what to do with that massive city hall. Which, by the way, you can't get into. Because she doesn't like you, Scranton. Mayor Cognetti doesn't like you. The less time she has to spend among you, the better, which is why she doesn't even live in the city. Oh, Lord. It's crazy. It's tough to live in Scranton. Man, they make it hard. And what a beautiful city. And then what stupid voters. So, like when you're surrounded by stupidity, what's your option to get out? They reelected her 2-1. 2-1. And she was as bad a mayor as we've ever had. And she's going to make it worse. Because she wants monuments when she's running for Congress. So she used you to run for Congress to have a platform for her left-wing lunacy. And she's using your tax dollars to cost you more money. Yeah, we need a city hall complex for a city that's declining by 1/2 in population. Wow. Scary. We'll take a break and be back. Brewer and Shipley. Murph tells us this date, 1971, they released that hit. One toke over the line. Now, is that one toke of pot over over the line where you get messed up? Curious. I'm not a pot smoker. I'm just I was always with people who did it, and so yeah, I tried it a bunch of times, indiscriminately. But just like, well, what's the point? If the point is to mess you up, I'm not interested. I know I've told you this before. Like when I'm drinking my scotch, yeah, I might get bombed. I might, but I'm trying not to. And at least I have a chance not to. The whole point of pot is to get messed up. I don't get it. But anyway, Brewer and Shipley. And hey, some of the coolest people you ever know are potheads. There's not a problem with that. Quickly, just to touch on it. This, I'm a big fan of the Providence Pregnancy Center. And there's a pregnancy center in New Jersey. It just was before the Supreme Court. And the state of New Jersey, the Attorney General, these are left-wing sickos. Now, remember what a pregnancy center does. A pregnancy center is there to help troubled pregnant women become mothers. In the case of Providence Pregnancy Center, they've got facilities to bring in kids you already have. In other words, they're trying to save the life of this baby in the womb. Now, who? I really ask you this. Who, without being evil, could oppose that? Who? They're trying to save the life of a baby. They're trying to help the mother who's got a troubled pregnancy for whatever reason. Now, Josh Shapiro, scumbag, I've told you about him on education, name the subject, cut off all funds for pregnancy centers. That is evil, pure, unadulterated evil. You don't want babies to be born, even if the mother chooses to do it. So you're cutting off money for places that are helping them have the baby. That's not pro-choice, that's pro-death. So New Jersey, pro-death state, they have their attorney general subpoena records of the people who donated to this pregnancy center in Jersey. And the Supreme Court apparently, of maybe even a 7-2 majority, say, wait a minute. Why are you trying to chill donations to a place that's saving lives? They're saving the baby. This is not against abortion, you proselytizers at the altar of abortion, you people who love abortion. It's nothing against you. Go out and keep telling people to kill their babies. You could still free go out there to kill babies all you want. But this sickening state of New Jersey, and shame on all the people there for who they elect. And Justice Thomas pointed out, he said, well, what were the complaints you got that made you send in these subpoenas for the pregnancy center donors? Oh, well, we didn't get any. Now, please tell me that is not pure evil. Thank you to Frank for reminding me of it, Frank Mack. Disgusting. This is how disgusting these people are. Just remember it. Jim from Hazleton. How are you, Jim?
Good. How you doing, Bob?
I'm in a lather, but I'm okay.
Well, I hear, but I figured it out. The building, the bank building there,
Yeah.
H. Cognetti, right? I figured I'm sure you see where I'm going with this. You probably see what my comment was on the
Yes,
on the
go ahead.
thing.
Go ahead.
So it's a twofold. They're going to hand out. I didn't say this to the Bulldog, but they're going to hand out the Democratic Kool-Aid so you can drink the Kool-Aid while you're there. And then you can peruse the Joseph Biden Presidential Museum because the future home because her picture's going to be Joe.
Yes.
We already got a building. You don't got to raise any money because at this rate with Joe Biden, he's not raising any money for his presidential library, so he's not going to have one. So this way, she figures I'll get the taxpayers to pay for it for him, and then he'll put the Joseph Biden presidential library will be right there next to the.
That could be the
plan. You think about it.
Jim, that could be the plan. That could be the plan. They're going to turn Fidelity Bank's current offices next to City Hall into a Biden museum.
Right.
Now, he can't even raise enough money for a bookmobile.
Well, this is what I'm saying. So she's his rescue since she's named the street after him, the highway after him.
There you go.
You know what's going to be sad? If I talk to you in a year from now and it's actually the realistic future home of the Joseph Biden library, I'm going to have to call you back and say, Bob, remember that conversation? I called it. I hope to God it's not, but in a way, I don't live in Scranton. I live in Hazelton.
I know. You're lucky, Jim.
But in a way, if you flip the coin, and I'm not a Joe Biden guy, but if you flip the coin, at least all the money the city's spending would go to something.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what she plans on doing. If you're telling me that they went from 140,000 people to 70,000 people, the police department's not even there. What are they going to do?
I know.
Turn it into a homeless shelter?
It's pure insanity.
Biden?
Well, there are about 20 parking spaces underneath. And I will guarantee you, the employees at Scranton City Hall, God bless them, they want those parking spaces.
So how much is this building costing? I didn't see it on it.
Oh, it's going to cost about
the city?
It's valued at about $3 million.
Wow.
It's as insane as you think it is. And by the way, maybe if they put the Biden library in there, we would have left-wing lunatic scholars pouring all over it, taking up hotel rooms in the city. You never know, to find out how insane Joe Biden was and when he actually lost his mind completely. That may be a future study.
The only problem with that is Joe Biden would never visit it because I'm sure he doesn't remember where Scranton even is. Find it on a map.
I know.
To even get there.
I know. Disgraceful.
They're gonna have a wing dedicated to Uncle Bose.
Yep.
They're gonna have a wing dedicated to Uncle Bosey and Scrappy Joe.
the cannibalism exhibit.
They're gonna have a section from when he was a lifeguard.
The chain that Corn Pop used.
Right.
All of that. It's really could be a funny museum.
Like I said, there's going to be a fountain in there that you could drink. Nancy could go there and fill up on Kool-Aid every day before work. She'd be having a blast.
All right, well, Jim, we beat this horse dead, but thank you.
I'm sure we're not the only ones getting a kick out of this comment. I'm sure that other people thought about it, but
I know it.
As you were saying it, it popped into my head. I said, I got to call Bob because I know he'll get a good laugh out of it.
Yes.
And I'm glad you did.
And
I'm glad I can make it.
It took me out of my lather, Jim, so thank you.
Yes.
All right,
I'm glad I can flip the mood on you and make your weekend almost on the end of the day, and you can end on a lighter side.
All right, brother. Thank you. Jim from Hazelton. We'll take a break. Bob Cordaro, WILK, but we'll be back with our Veterans Tribute and more, as they say. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Our Veterans Tribute this hour and every hour, this day and every day. Brought to you by our friend John Basiliga and his great Basiliga Hospitality Group. 3 bar restaurants that you will love, and I'll be at one of them this weekend. I didn't decide which yet. But I keep thinking about that marrow and steak tartare special up at the Old Brook Inn. Can't get it out of my mind. The Far Street Tavern. The Great Trips Park section of West Scranton. And the Queen City Tavern right in downtown Oliphant. Yeah, you got your own. Fine dining at Terra 519. Cutie thinks about this drink called the, what the heck is it called? It's purple. It's fantastic. I'm just not a tequila fan. The Vice at the Atera Bar, which is awesome. And the Stegmeyer Bar, just as beautiful, just as good, downtown Wilkes-Barre. And I love to dine at Atera and Stegmeyer. Sergey's will be hopping all weekend, the nightclub in Northeast Pennsylvania. I'm not kidding, fun for all ages. Just don't try to participate if you're my age. Scranton Art House, the place to watch a movie, an amazing event space, a great bar, and the best popcorn you'll have anywhere. Gerald Pambianco. Jerry was 90 when we lost him November 9th. He was from Plains Township. Born in Plains, he was a devoted husband to his wife, Janet Pickett's Pambianco, until her passing in 2024. A graduate of Plains High School, Jerry spent most of his life as a skilled mechanic, proudly owning and operating his own front-end alignment business. Jerry loved to take to the skies. He was a private pilot. He also enjoyed collecting Lionel trains. A U.S. Navy veteran, he proudly served all of us aboard the USS Currituck. Known for his strong work ethic and generous spirit, Jerry was always ready to help others, whether fixing a car, a home project, or any task. In addition to his wife and parents, he was tragically predeceased by his son, Raymond, his grandson, Nicholas Pambianco. Surviving, his son, his daughter, grandchildren, great-granddaughters, and his sister. Special thanks to Al and Carol Smith for their generosity and friendship. Jerry Pambianco, our great veteran this hour, brought to you by John Basiliga and Basiliga Hospitality. From meteorologist Joe Snedeker, today, sunshine this morning with increasing clouds in the afternoon, 28 degrees, 23 outside right now. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 25. Saturday, partly sunny, high 35. Sunday, partly sunny, high 35. So we were listening to the news yesterday. Let me tell you how insane these people are. The United States is hosting the World Cup. First time since 1994. Soccer, you could say, soccer has taken hold. It's not our national sport or anything, but it's taken hold. And it's a fun game and great to play and all that. So we're hosting the World Cup in places all around Scranton. In fact, Scranton has a chance to be a place to watch for when it's in Philly, because not everybody can go to Philly or get tickets and all that. So we could become a watch site, which will be really nice for the area. Anyway, Trump's at the FIFA World Cup drawing. I mean, it's peripatetic is... It would be a mild description of him. He's just everywhere. Anyway, he's there. So the news line is, here's the news line. Well, some people are afraid to come to the United States because of his anti-immigrant platform. Now, one thing that it might do is keep stupid people out of this country. If you're so dumb to think that you couldn't come and watch the World Cup and then go back to your home country, we don't want you to even visit. But this is the line that the news media has drawn up, and it's copied even here on this station. The insanity is beyond compare, and they just don't stop. All right, let's go to Luciano. How are you, my friend?
Bob, thank you for taking my. I'm in the Walmart. Let me just tell you this. I love you. You know why? Because you don't mince words, and you lived in prison. I lived on the street for years and years. And Donald Trump, he has no filter. I say this with love towards the Republican Party, the real Republican Party that supports American citizens of all races, colors, and creeds. And one last comment: that scumbag socialist Muslim from New York City that became mayor, he would have an excellent chance of becoming mayor in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Bob.
Yeah, he would. If he was the Democrat nominee, he would be the... these people, these Democrat voters, these Dummycrat voters are insane. Now...
That's why he's going to Luzerne County, Bob.
Yeah.
Donald Trump Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump Tuesday.
Well, no, he's coming up here, I think, but I don't know.
No, he's coming to the county of Luzerne County. He's not coming to Lackawanna.
Okay.
He's coming to Luzerne
Fair
County.
enough.
Where the Republicans are strong.
Luzerne County has a chance to vote normal. Lackawanna County cannot.
And one last comment, Bob.
Yes.
You know what and I said this to my sister. You know what the modern day Democratic Party represents in movies, in terms of movies? 3 movies. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The Twilight Zone, and Lost in Space. Have a good weekend, Bob. Take care. Bye-bye.
You nailed it. You nailed it, my friend. All right, let's go to Mike from Duryea. Mike, we got about a minute or two. Fire away.
No, well, I'm Mike from Duryea. I'm 72 years old, and I just found a fact about transgenders. You know, women live about 5 to 6 years longer. So all those guys out there that are 72 years old, if you want to live 5 or 6 years longer, convert to a woman.
Are you considering this?
It'll work.
Are you considering this, Mike?
Yes. I'd be an ugly female, but I'll tell you, to live 5 or 6 years longer, I'm telling you, Bob.
Listen, it'll give you time. I'm Catholic, so like I always want at the end of my life, I want enough time to make a proper confession. That's all I want to buy extra time. So if I have to go that direction to get my confession in, I might have to think about it.
I'm telling you, that's all you got to do is convert to a woman. You live 5 or 6 years longer.
Unless you try to pick up a guy at a bar, then you could shorten your life. There's go either way, Mike. All right, man. Thank you. We'll take a break. It's the Bob Cordaro Show. Murph tells us that Richard Wayne Pennyman, better known as Little Richard, was born in Macon, Georgia. This date, 1932. We lost him in 2020 at the age of 87. Tutti Frutti's the song he picked. And we're going to finish with one of my faves, George Harrison from December 5, 1970. He moved from number 72 to number 13 that day with his hit, My Sweet Lord. Great way to finish, isn't it? So much to talk about in these last few minutes. Somebody asked, we were talking about Monesta yesterday. And they said, what is Monest? We never use the last vowel, at least around here. It's escarole and bean soup. It's peasant food from when the Italians had nothing. And it can be delectable. The first time I ever had Monest, and it would never be one of my favorites, but the first time I had it, they had, I think it was pepperoni, was up at the Victor Alfieri Club, which is always awesome food up in West Side. And so that's what it is. Escarole, beans, white beans, and soup. It's a soup with those two ingredients. Okay? And that's the deal. Hey, I wanted to mention that our usuals of that weekend. But I want to mention from the Bloomsburg American Legion as we talk about and finish up our tribute, thanks to John Basiliga Hospitality. Joseph Palicar, Dixon City, Richard Rossi of Sugarloaf, and Jerry Pambianco of Plains, the veterans we saluted today. And when I go, Mary Regina adding, by the way, Monesta is so good. It can be, that's for sure. Outside the Bloomsburg American Legion, there's a stone. And I'll add a couple of words, but carved on it, it says, what is a veteran? A veteran, whether active duty, discharged, retired, or reserved, is someone who at one point in his or her life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America and its people for an amount of up to and including his or her life. That is honor. And there are way too many people in this country today who no longer understand that simple fact. Well, we head into the weekend, and I hope you've got some nice plans. I want to take it easy this weekend, but we're going out with some good friends of ours we don't see often on Saturday. And, of course, I got to see the grandkids. I got to figure out how to see them because they're more active than I am. Anyway, don't wait to be happy. The perfect moment will never come. Make the most of the one you're in. Health is everything. You'll only realize it when it starts to fade. Cherish and protect it now. Number 3, time doesn't come back. Spend it with people who make your soul feel light. Call your parents. One day you'll reach for the phone and wish you could. Say I love you more. Don't let ego hold back what your heart wants to say. Memories versus money. No one remembers the car you drove, just the laughter you shared. Let go of the grudges. You're not punishing them. You're only hurting yourself. Number 8, stop waiting. Start that dream. Take that trip. Hug that person. Life doesn't pause. Number 9, people forget words, but they never forget how you made them feel. And number 10, you're never too old to love again, to start over, to change, and to grow. Our man, Nikki D. And also from Nikki DeSando, the policeman's prayer. Think about our cops on this weekend. They're the thin blue line separating us from savagery and evil. The policeman's prayer. Lord, bless the ones who wear the badge, the ones who walk the beat, protect and keep them safe while they are on the street. And as they wait and as they watch, doing good for all, guide their minds and give them strength for each and every call. Ready to put their lives on the line, give them courage each day. Let them know you're always there in each and every way. So bless the ones who wear the badge, protect them from harm, always keep them safe and in your loving arms. The policeman's prayer. And what do we love to finish with? Well, we love to finish with tomorrow never comes. It's just a reminder to reach out. Friend, family, whatever. You don't know when the last chance is. Go to that party. Visit with them. Make the phone call. I found this originally in the blessed obituary for Doreen Gorieb a couple of years back. Tomorrow Never Comes by Norma Cornett Merrick. She says, if I knew it would be the last time I'd see you walk out that door, I'd give you a hug and kiss and call you back for just one more. If I knew it would be the last time, I'd spare an extra minute or two to stop and say I love you instead of assuming you know I do. So just in case tomorrow never comes and today is all I get, I'd like to say how much I love you and I hope we will never forget. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone, young or old alike. And today may be the last chance you get to hold your loved one tight. So if you're waiting for tomorrow, why not do it today? For if tomorrow never comes, you'll surely regret the day that you didn't take that extra time for a smile, a hug, or a kiss. And you were too busy to grant someone what turned out to be their final wish. So hold your loved ones close today and whisper in their ear that you love them very much and you'll always hold them dear. Take time to say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Or it's okay. And if tomorrow never comes, you'll have no regrets about today. Guys, have a great, great weekend. Let it be peaceful. Let it be calm. Let it be a time to reflect on the great times you've had and the people you love. I'll try to do the same. My Bacardo Jewelers watch tells me it's noon and I gotta go. So we will gavel to a close this meeting of the Club for Common Sense with George Harrison in the background. And God willing, I'll be with you Monday morning at 9. The Sue Henry Show next. Rob O'Donnell Show after that. But for now, Club for Common Sense adjourned.